And James Evans, aka John Amos, did not want to have that stereotype on Good Times. So not only did he and Esther Roll not want to have a single black mother as the head of the household, they also wanted a strong black male image on the show. And that's what they had until the lines started coming in. Everybody laughed at JJ's lines of "Kid Dynamite," and that's what the writers started writing more in, so they'll laugh at JJ's buffoonery instead of looking at the overall family that was being led by John Amos. Now, if you go back to the early JJ, what did you see? The early JJ was, number one, he was an artist, fine, but he was also barely in school. They were trying to keep him in school because he was going to be a dropout. He was banging on all the chicks. JJ was stealing. They would tell him, don't go to the store and find something. That was who JJ was. Now, thankfully, as the show went on, Jimmy Walker, JJ actually ended up leading the family. But around, I think after season 3, they killed James off. I remember John Amos telling a story that basically Norman Lear called him up and was like, hey, guess what? You're not coming back when we start shooting for the next season. And he didn't come back. Norman Lear got what he wanted. A show with a single black mother in the house, and they just picked up, and for those who remembered Florida dropping the punch bowl saying, damn, damn, damn. Damn, 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 was a classic moment etched into all of our brains, and they took away her husband. Thankfully, even in that short time period for John Amos, that's how much that man impacted my life. You watch videos on my channel of my father. James Evans solidified and showed what my father was doing. Well, my father just wasn't being mean. That when I watched the episodes of James defending his family.
You heard what I said. Mad dog, you don't get your hand out my wife's face, I'm gonna slap a muzzle on you.
When Florida's cousin Cletus, I think it was nephew Cletus, came to rob, and he pulled a gun on them. And they ended up turning the radio off, knew the lights were gonna go out, and next time by the lights came on, James had his arm around his head and had taken the weapon away from him. The fact that when Thelma was dating a much older man, she had to bring him in and talk to her father. What about the scenes that we had where James was trying to make some extra money, so he was fixing TVs and all the neighbors were bringing them in there, or the talent shows? In every way, shape, and form, in all of his kids' life, in JJ's, in Thelma, and in Michael's, down to, of course, Florida, you saw this man having an impact on his kids and on his family, and he was never the subject or the target of the joke as they would end up doing on the show Blackish. Lastly, I wanted my kids to see the love that was between he and his wife. You see, on Blackish, you got to see a little bit of love. You got to see Dre kind of getting some booty, kind of, mellowed out to him when Rainbow felt like, oh, I guess you deserve some for night. And for maybe a lot of you married guys, that is how it is in your life. Fine. But you saw some genuine desire from Esther Roll or from Florida. It was hard to believe, but when we would watch that show, it dawned on me that this is back in the 70s. And you had both of them just up there gripping and kissing right there on the show in front of their kids. You see this husband and wife and this dynamic of this is who we are, this is what we do. You see James slap her on the butt, she walk away, he'll slap her on the butt and be like, Lord, have mercy. And you see James just always still, Florida knew how to get to him. It wasn't by making fun of him. It wasn't by talking about him, complaining about him, even to Walona. Florida got to him because she knew how to speak to her husband. She knew that she didn't have to buck up and fight him and show what a strong and independent woman she is, even though she kind of did that time Florida wanted to go out and get a job. But she had a way of talking to James where she knew who he was. She knew that his character was one that dropped out of school. I think it might have been at 5th grade. And they were a tremendous team with each other when they had to go to school, because Michael, the school said that Michael was stupid because of an IQ test. And if y'all look it up at that IQ test, that was an actual, a black IQ test. And so it was even the lessons we got from Good Times, that was real history. There was a gentleman who made a black IQ test to kind of refute that very IQ test that we use, and let's just say some of the presidential candidates even refer to, or at least his supporters refer to, as far as people being smart. And if y'all remember, they went to Michael's school and they started asking him some questions that really was known in black culture. And Mr. Nerd Geek with his calculator exploded when he couldn't figure out the answer to their questions. Because even the show is making a point that what you deem as intelligent and what we deem as intelligent may be different, but it doesn't mean we're less smarter. And that's what you get from James Evans on the show.